Is your work like Joe Dispenza, Kim? I get this question so often. Or how is this different from Dr. Joe Dispenza? I love Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. He has been such a pioneer and in how the body heals itself and what we can do to accelerate how consciousness affects our health and how we can shift our consciousness to have dramatic and profound impact and changes in the health. So I want to talk about some similarities as well as some differences and how I have approached mind-body healing and some of the results I've seen as a result. So sometimes when we remember the sort of like the masculine approach and the feminine approach, it helps us understand what's going on in mind-body medicine. So some people think this is about be positive, and you have this intention, you have this vision of what you do want. I want to be healthy, I want to be strong, I'm living my best life. There's a vibration and a frequency to that. There is maybe a visualization that you could see or something you could feel or just the idea of it that you could like fill yourself up with. So I think of that as the masculine approach, going toward what you do want. It's also equally important to remember the feminine approach, which is sort of like releasing the blocks to having that. What are the underlying like fear, shame, anger, blame, like patterns imprinted that we have not wanted to meet, that what you resist persists, that we are resisting, that are dynamically blocking us from just naturally allowing these wonderful things into our life. And so when we embody the feminine approach, it will seem like that's the negative. We're tapping on like, oh, this horrible pain, but we're actually neutralizing resistance to that unwanted or darker or densities that might live in the body. And the fascinating thing is that when we neutralize the resistance, sometimes the other stuff isn't even needed. You don't need to like meditate your way or over and over and over affirm or repeat and instill these new patterns. You can allow your body to naturally move into alignment with everything you've been asking for. I have seen very, very commonly with these other approaches that there's a lot of focus on the masculine, creating the new neuropathic brain wavelength and the brain pathways for what your intention is. Awesome. It's also important and sometimes, well, very often is missing. How do we release what's in the way of that? How do we move into these deeper, darker emotions and release the resistance so the energy can move? And like I said, so often I've seen even just that approach alone allows so much rebalancing in the body, because for so many of us, it's not that we're not doing the masculine approach of trying, of visioning, of overcoming, of doing the work. It's that we're so deficient and maybe completely lacking understanding of the feminine approach. How do I willingly enter into where I am, as I am, how I am, in a way that releases all of the resistance and allows things to come in fluidly? The body will realign itself. You don't have to work at it. And I know because I did this myself, where I took that path and just like really tried to work it. Your willpower will never get you there. You've got to go in to do the inner work to release and resolve the densities, the resistance. Maybe there's trauma. And so it can seem counterproductive, like, I don't want to go into the trauma. I want to get away from the trauma. But sometimes many people are using that masculine approach to escape this underlying part of their system. You're never going to get there this way, because what you resist persists. So in my approach, I've very solidly combined both, where there are ways we're releasing resistance, literally rewriting the traumas, the memories, resolving the belief systems that are like faulty and not serving you, through embodiment, actually being in that quote unwanted state with greater willingness, with greater resilience, so that dissolves the old pathways and you literally allow a new alignment. So I hope this is helpful, because both pathways are useful, but I've just seen so many people maxed out on that masculine approach, and what they're really missing is just even like a little 2% can open up the whole universe and allow all of these amazing things to come in. I'm so grateful and thankful for other doctors and teachers like Joe Dispenza who have really pioneered this and brought this more into a mainstream, that people begin to understand your mind and body are connected, your consciousness directly affects your cellular, and we are vibration first and foremost. And that is the template that the physical gets created on. So I have so many good things to say about a lot of other practitioners, and this is the approach I've taken that I've found to be most powerful for the people I've worked with to get the best results fastest. I'm at drkimd.com. Our team is standing by for you to assist you in your journey of really beginning to see what is specifically going to be most supportive for you and open up your pathways for your greatest results. So come to drkimd.com and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.